Good morning. Happy Thursday. It is time for just a word from the Word. Today's passage comes from Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, and I'm reading from the King James. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Been thinking about this verse this morning, praying about some things, asking God about some things, and just wanted to share my thoughts from this particular verse this morning. The writer of Galatians, the great apostle Paul, who knew what it was like to work hard, to give himself to everything, was encouraging the church at Galatia. And notice he didn't say, let you be not weary. He says, let us be not weary. I think the Apostle Paul was trying to remind himself as well as tell the church. So let me remind myself and tell you, don't be weary when you're doing the right thing for the kingdom. Hear me. Don't be weary. Those words are easier said than done. I understand that. But I also understand what the Word of God has to say about it. He says, don't be weary. And then listen to the rest of the verse. I'm going to read it again. 4. Why does Paul say to not be weary doing the right thing? 4, or because. In due season we shall reap. And there's that awful terrible word, if we faint not. Due season is just referring to when the fruit's ripe enough to be harvested. Sometimes that's a waiting game. After you've planted the Word of God, you've poured into people. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but there will be fruit. The Word of God never goes out void. So be patient. Don't get weary in the waiting. Keep doing the right thing, because fruit's coming. Due season, when it is the right timing, it's coming. But don't forget that last little prepositional phrase, if we faint not. In other words, don't get so weary and caught up in the frustration of the waiting that you just say, forget it, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. That's not at all what God has called us to do. He's called us to keep doing good, to keep doing the right thing, to keep walking in the calling that God has placed upon our lives. Don't quit. And that's really just a word from the Word this morning. Don't quit. If you know that you are walking in your calling, whether you see results yet or not, don't quit. God promises fruit in the right season if we don't faint. So don't quit. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day, and Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning.